Hey YouTube, Rob again, bringing you a brand new video. First of all, let's apologise. I haven't sort of been on YouTube a lot over the last few weeks. It's been, I guess, just been a bit busy and doing things, and also just haven't sort of had the motivation to sort of make a video. I think I've just had a bit of the the YouTube blues, I guess, and just haven't sort of found the energy to actually make a video. So today I'm doing my what I normally do every month, my end of the month sort of movie update. Got a bit of a mixture here of different genres, and so it's it's glad to be back, and I've still got to catch up on a few other people's videos, and people sent me a few PMs and stuff, so I've got to apologise about that. I haven't got back to a few people yet, but I'll get that done hopefully over the weekend. And anyway, so we'll get into it. I've got a bit of stack here of stuff. Okay, so the first 5 here are actually sort of a bulk deal which I sort of bought off eBay. They're all sort of 3D movies. I don't actually own a 3D TV, but I've got these for a really good price, and just sort of one of the things I sort of bid it on and actually sort of won it. I was actually quite surprised I won it. I think these movies were all they're going to be around $12.60 each or something, which for a 3D movie I think is actually really good. First one's a bit of a classic, with a really nice sort of cover on it. Jurassic Park with a clear cover on it. This is a 3D version. I haven't seen this film for quite a while actually, but as people already know, it's a really great movie, and definitely worth really looking forward to sort of giving that one a watch. So that's Jurassic Park 3D. One I've heard sort of mixed things about. Hansel and Gretal 3D. Sure, it's going to be a bit of a blockbuster. Lots of action and CGI and stuff in it, and so I'm sure it'll be a fun watch. The film I actually have done a review of on my channel, sort of single review of, and to be honest, I gave it a pretty horrible review. I didn't think it necessarily was that great. The Immortals, but I might give it another watch, and I won't go into too much about this one, but I mean it's a nice looking movie and some really good action scenes in it. The storyline was pretty horrible. That's Immortals. I think I've never sort of seen before actually. The Three Musketeers. I've sort of seen the one with I think it's Leonardo DiCaprio in it, and no, is it the Three Musketeers? No, that's the man with the iron mask, isn't it? But no, I've seen the one with, I don't know, I've seen one though. I think this is a newer version. I think it came out recently, I think, or the last couple of years or something. So I haven't seen that one yet. Then finally, I've got the Hobbit 3D, which I do actually sort of own this movie already, but I've got the 3D version. That's the Hobbit. Another eBay purchase, sort of the original and the sequel. Probably Steven Seagal's probably most sort of famous movie. Got Under Siege and a sequel, Under Siege 2. I watched this one. I think I've seen it before a few times, and it was on TV. I think a few months ago I did sort of watch it, and it's a really good flick. Got some really good action in it. So I was going to sort of watch both of them the other day, but I thought, well, I've already seen the first one not too long ago, so I just watched this one recently. This is actually one that sort of gets, I have sort of heard what people say it's not that great, but I also watched it the other day. I actually thought it was actually pretty good. I thought really it was a lot better than I sort of remember it being, or people sort of let on that they reckon it's not that great, but I actually thought it was actually pretty good. I mean, probably not necessarily great as the first one, but I mean it's not that far off, being a close to the first one. I thought it is a really good movie, just sort of by itself. They're both pretty good. The only problem I had sort of thing, I thought it's probably a picky fault, but it's sort of got this one's sort of the Australian sort of UK edition, and whereas this one's sort of the American sort of slimmer sort of case on it, which I didn't sort of know when I sort of bought them. I think I bought them second hand just off eBay. I don't know. I just thought maybe the seller probably should have told me perhaps that one was going to have this sort of thinner case. I mean, I don't know, perhaps I'm being a bit picky, perhaps, but I think that probably would have been something, you know, worth mentioning. I think in the description. But anyway, I suppose it doesn't really matter. Well, this seems to play fine in my Blu-ray player. I don't know, maybe it might just be, because this is definitely the American sort of cover of it, isn't it? So I'm not sure if it's might be region free or something. I don't know, but yeah, I have no sort of problem playing it. So yeah, so that's Under Siege. Both really good movies, I think. Next film's actually a film that sort of had a 20th anniversary edition, sort of release of it recently, and a lot of people, well, were sort of picking it up a few months ago, and I sort of picked it up as well. I had sort of seen the film before, I think, but not for quite a while, and gave it a watch. So that's the Sandlot. Really good movie. I sort of watched it the other day, and yeah, I thought it was really good. It's a nice sort of 80s sort of movie. Oh no, it's 90s, isn't it? I think mid-90s. Yeah. Comes with a really nice sort of slip cover on it. This is the American version. Yeah, good. It's good sort of, you know, good sort of flip movie. Kind of reminded a bit of, you know, Stand By Me. You know, sort of type vibe to it, and yeah, great movie, that one. So that's all the Blu-rays I've got. The rest are actually DVDs, which I sort of bought. I think I did mention in one of my other videos that there's this new sort of second hand, like a sort of a chain store, sort of opened up recently near me, and they were selling really sort of cheap. Had this sort of big sort of bin full of, you know, just DVDs, and you sort of, you know, crawl your way through it, you know, getting movies out, and there's actually some good sort of titles in there, some really sort of classic sort of titles in there that, you know, look pretty interesting, and I thought, you know, might be worth a check out. Actually, that's not true. I think I actually bought this from somewhere else. Actually, I've just realised. Yeah, I think I bought this one second hand actually from I think, did I? I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Wherever. I suppose it doesn't really matter where I bought it from, I guess. Anyway, so that's yeah, The Flight of the Phoenix with Jimmy Stewart. What else is it? It's got Richard Attenborough, Peter Finch, Ernest Borgnine. Is that how you pronounce it? Borgnine. Borgnine. I don't know. 1967, I think it is. Something like that. 1965, maybe, actually. This is actually really good. I actually really quite enjoyed this one, actually. Essentially, it's sort of about these, I think it's probably, I don't know, 10 guys, and they're on this, in a cargo plane. I think they sort of end up sort of crashing, I think it's in the Sahara Desert. They're sort of, you know, sort of stuck there with, you know, limited food and limited water, and they've got to try and find a way to get out, and, you know, sort of, yeah, I just thought it was, yeah, really good. Just, you know, all these sort of different sort of characters from different sort of backgrounds, and they sort of, you know, different ideas on what they should be doing. You know, some reckon they should try and walk out and, you know, try and find somewhere to go, and other people think they should stay there and wait to be rescued, and they sort of end up sort of come up with the idea of sort of using the parts of the broken plane to sort of build a plane, sort of like a smaller one. And I thought it was, yeah, really good. Sort of kind of like a sort of a slow burning, you know, sort of type movie, and but I just thought it was really good sort of, you know, acting performances from it, and just really sort of like the characters in it, and the way they sort of you know, interacted with each other, and sort of, you know, argued, and, you know, the dialogue, and when they were sort of discussing, you know, what to do and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought it was just, yeah, a really good movie, and yeah, fantastic movie, actually. This one's just a bit of a sort of a random one. The Night Train stars John Hurt. He's been in some, you know, great movies, obviously Alien, and you know, a few other ones. I think sort of one of the main reasons I sort of bought this one was just because John Hurt was in it, and I had sort of watched, I think probably the week before, another movie. It was just on TV. There was this movie, I think it was called Champions or something, and John Hurt was playing this. I think it was based on a real story about this a jockey that sort of develops cancer, and he sort of wants to sort of get back and start riding again, and being a jockey, and because he's got cancer, and he's not physically very strong enough to, you know, so he thinks maybe his career's over type thing. But he does sort of fight it, and does sort of come back, and, you know, obviously, you know, wins the big race, you know, type thing. But anyway, this actually wasn't too bad. Just sort of about John Hurt, he sort of plays this sort of paroled prisoner. He's just been released from prison, and he's sort of trying to start a new life, and he sort of answers this ad for a room to rent, sort of upstairs in this sort of old lady's house, and he sort of falls in love with sort of the daughter of the landlady type thing, and so sort of a romance, and they're both in some ways sort of lonely people, and they sort of come together and fall in love, and sort of decide to sort of run away together, type thing, and but I just thought it was really good. I thought just great characters, and a good sort of just good sort of fun romantic story, type thing. Sort of a not sort of Hollywood, sort of all beautiful people, and not all flashy. It's more of a sort of a real, sort of real people, type romantic sort of movie, type thing. And just a good sort of movie, I thought. I think it's directed by John Lynch. I think he was sort of his very sort of first movie. And, this thing was just what's her name? Brenda Breathen. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name or not. She was actually in another obscure show, which probably no one's ever heard of. Sort of a British comedy called Chance in a Million, where she sort of plays the girlfriend of this guy. Very much kind of like a sort of Frank Spencer. Some others do have him, and it's kind of also a bit of a one foot in the grave type thing, where the sort of the guy, he's got sort of really bad luck, and just all these sort of funny things that come out from his bad luck, and type thing. It's a really good trait. It's a really great show actually as well. But this is a good one. This one I thought. I think it's only like I think I paid like probably $4 or $5, something like that. Anyway, it wasn't all that expensive. I think about $4 each for these ones, I think. So that's that. Another one I got there. It's actually a sort of TV show I've never actually sort of heard of. Probably no one's ever heard of it. It's called Only When I Laugh, which I've never sort of seen before. And this is actually series 4, which I think it's like the last series they ever made of it. And but it's got some sort of good sort of stars in it. It's got James Bolan, the guy out of Victor Meldrew out of One Foot in the Grave, and the other two I can't remember their names. This guy, he looks like as I sort of mentioned before in another update, Harry H. Corbett, Steptoe son, but it's not actually him. That's actually a different actor, but it does look like him in that picture. But this wasn't too bad. I didn't think it necessarily was that funny and that great. So you just got these sort of the three sort of main sort of characters, and the doctor. They're sort of just in hospital, sort of long-term hospital sort of thing, and they just sort of comedy that sort of comes out from being in hospital, and sort of the adventures they have, type thing. It wasn't sort of too bad, and I don't know, it wasn't particularly laugh-out funny. I suppose it's, wasn't quite as funny as I thought, as I thought it might have been, sort of thing. But I was just good to sort of see these, some characters in it, and I actually like James Bolan. He's been in some great, probably, probably my famous probably have to be the Likely Lads, which is a TV show from the 60s and 70s, I think. He was like him and his sort of friend were just like sort of two bachelors, and just sort of, they used to go out on dates with girls, and just the sort of adventures they used to get up to, and then the sort of had like a series that came back. They had the Likely Lads, and then like I think it was probably 5 or 10 years later, they had like a sort of return series where it was sort of whatever happened to the Likely Lads type thing, and that was sort of in colour, and just sort of them sort of 5 or 10 years after the first show, and just sort of what they got up to, type thing. He was also in was it When the Boat Comes In, which is sort of like I think it was like a post World War II sort of drama, sort of comedy type thing. It was actually pretty good, like a mini series type thing. And he's also been in tons of shows, but he's also been in New Tricks, which is another really great show. So it also got Amanda Redgrave in it, and Alan Lung, and and of course Dennis Waterman, who he was in like Minder, and He's another good comedy actor that I really liked. He's been in some great shows as well. Anyway, I'm sort of going a bit off topic there. But yeah, this is it wasn't too bad. I thought. It was just about. I reckon this is probably series 4. So I think probably the first 3 or the first 2, probably would have been a lot funnier. I reckon. Than that one.